On tonight's show, we have Realtor and event specialist Nina Lauren. And now for your host, KoolKard. Building. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Kickin with KoolKard, episode 60. I am your host, KoolKard. Last week, we had Annie Delgado, pop singer. She came on. She premiered a new video. We had fun. You guys make sure you check her out on Instagram. Her Instagram handle is Annie, that's ANIE_Delgado, DELGADO. Y'all go check her out. Show her some love. She provided some value. That's what this show's about. Like I said, man, I can't do this without you. I do it for you. So if this is your first time tuning in, I do invite you to subscribe. So, you know, I can continue bringing you this good value, bringing you these great guests. Now, tonight, I have a realtor and I have an event specialist. She's been doing a thing for a long time. She's killing it in the A. I've actually known her for a long time too. Like, not like hang out every day type of thing, but you know, I've been supporting her for a long time, and I finally got her to come kick it with your boy. We've been trying to coordinate this thing for a while, but we finally got her here. She goes by the name of Nina Lauren. Like I said, she's a realtor, event specialist. She does her thing. All right. So without further ado, let me bring in the cool way, you know, my little cool intro, how I like to do it. And we're going to get into her brain, and she could provide some value to you in case you want to learn how to do what she does. All right, let's get it. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show, Nina.
Hey, what's going on, KoolKard? I'm glad
man.
We're kicking it.
Kicking it with you. That's what's going on. Finally got you over here to kick it with your boy. How many times was it? Like 3 times?
I know. We probably set this up maybe 2 more times.
I know, right? I know you're busy though, so you know it's all love. But I got you here now, and I appreciate you coming to kick it with your boy, man. You didn't have to, so you know I really do appreciate it. I know you're busy, like you said. You got some things you got going tonight, so you know I'm gonna make it worth your while for being here.
I believe it, and thank you for having me. Thanks for thinking, you know, that what I do is even worthy enough to be talking to anybody about.
For sure. Listen, when I showed them some pictures, in the intro, but I got like some before and after pics I'm going to put up above your head a little later. Let them see what you do. Like, it's worthy. It is worthy because it's like you're creating like fantasies for people. You know what I'm saying? Like you're converting an entire room, an entire space from nothing to like this mystical, magical, I don't know, world for these people. You know what I'm saying? And like, it blows my mind when I look at it. I'm like, damn, like that's very intricate. It's very detailed. So with that said, like, well, first and foremost, let's just backtrack a little bit. Can you kind of give us a rundown of where you came from and how you got to where you are now doing what you're doing?
Yeah, you know, I guess with life being life and me ending up here, it's definitely been a long road, but I'll try to wind it on back and make it as possible. I guess to start, you know, I'm from Atlanta, so, you know, here we are in Atlanta. So I'm back here. I did move away to go to school. I lived in Charlotte for some years, came back down here and ended up staying. And I'm glad that I did. You know, I came down and really just kind of made some connections, made some friendships, some associates and business people along the way that have kind of, you know, how they say it's not always what you know, sometimes it is who you know, and that could not be more true. And I think it's really just about the relationships and the foundations that you have with people. But nonetheless, I started off doing quite a few other things. To be a public school teacher. Oh, wow. For some years. I taught high school initially when I was a little bit younger, and then I went to elementary school. And
you got some tolerance.
Right. Also, I'm not there anymore, so I don't know.
I'm telling you. I commend you on that, though, but go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, so I was doing that. I really enjoyed it. But I did decide to walk away from that and kind of do my own thing full time. And at the time I was still dealing with events, but it was more so on the managing side with a lot of corporate events. So that would be representing brands, but like they may have a tour that goes from city to city or from state to state, and it might be a conference, it might be a festival, it might be whatever it is. We've all been to different places and we've seen brands represented everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're either giving you something or trying to get you sign up or
Right.
sampling something, whatever that is. And I would manage those. Okay. So once COVID hit, and I really loved it, by the way, but once COVID hit, all the events really just stopped. I mean, literally, no corporations were doing anything, no major events for those type of things. So I had been doing event planning and event coordinating, but I really catapulted myself into doing that on a more full-time basis. Okay. So I did have that whole thing of just kind of like reinventing myself to the masses. The people that I had been working with knew that I did it, but really just trying to have that whole reinvention of, hey, everybody else in the world that may know of me, see me, but don't know me at all, whatever that looks like, trying to let everybody know that that's what I do. And it's been great. It's been great. I really love it.
Yeah, I guess it worked out for you because at the end of the day, COVID hit, but people didn't stop living, Exactly. So they would have their own little intimate gatherings and stuff like that. So that just keeps you busy. So as far as like, man, I just want to know, like, with the details of how you put these rooms together, like, what type of mind does it take to even come up with that stuff? Like, do you work with the client to kind of get ideas, or like, do they just tell you what they want or what they're trying to convey, and then all these little colorful things start popping up in your head? Like, how does that process even work?
Yeah, so that's the crazy part. I think it's perfect for me. Number one, I am such a creative. I used to play an instrument. I used to play violin for many years. I was first year. I actually still have 2 violins.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just feel like, I love to kind of like do it yourself stuff. I love to decorate my home, paint my home, my walls, everything. So it's always been something that I just love to do. So being able and having the opportunity to meet with somebody and they're just like, you know what, I want to celebrate this for myself or for somebody else.
Right.
I don't know what I want. Okay. I don't know what I want. That's why I'm hiring you. And it can be a challenge because, of course, my number one goal is to always, always please my clients or over deliver to my clients. Right. Yeah. So that can be like the kind of nerve-wracking part a little bit, even though I feel like it looks amazing. Everybody's different. But I do go through and I ask them initial questions, even when they don't have any clue what they want to do. Right. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe what's your favorite color? What's the color that you want to use? Is there any type of theme? Is, so-and-so's or yourself, what is your favorite, this, your favorite, that, whatever that looks like. And then literally in my head, I find a venue space if they don't already have one. And I literally just kind of piece together everything, every single detail in my head. Every single thing, regardless of what it might be. Like you say, you've seen the before pictures and it's just a blank space.
Yeah.
So
now, do you work with a team or is it just you?
Right now it's just me. But of course, when it comes to event rentals, the really huge thing where if you event space is empty and I have thrown chairs and couches coming in. Yeah, I have a company or different vendors that I work with that have the supply, and basically, I use the budget to kind of fill it up with whatever it is that's in my mind. But it's just me.
That has to be, I would think that's kind of fun, right? You get a budget, they say, here's a budget, play with this budget, and you get to just go out and pick and choose and like create this crazy, wonderful fantasy land, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool. I enjoy it a lot. It's kind of like going shopping, but not money.
Right.
But at the same time, it can become, I might have this amazing vision. It's always going to be an amazing event, don't get me wrong, but I might have this really grand thing, hearing the initial budget. And then as I begin to piece everything together that I want in there, I realize, budget's getting a little tight right now. Yeah. So we have to decide, are we really going to amp A up over here, or are we going to cut B, or am I going to get 2 smaller C's instead of the huge D, or, whatever that looks like. Yeah. So it's definitely a very intricate and time consuming process. So I'm glad we're doing this so people understand how much work does go into it, even though it's super fun.
Exactly. That's the value in it. That's why I got you on here. So for someone watching who would, maybe has interest in doing what you do, what can you say to, like, how do you know how to get it right? How do you know how to please a client? How do you know how to get it right? Because if you get it wrong and you spent all this money, there's a problem. So you have to get it right. What does it take in you as a professional to get it right? In your opinion?
So in my own opinion, I definitely think, I think that this advice probably transcends all industries, but I think when it comes to anything dealing with people and sales, and even though it may not seem like sales, it kind of is, I'm selling a service to them. And so once they make the decision to buy my service, I think it's extremely important with anybody that's a customer to talk and to stay in communication. Right. I think asking questions are extremely important. So with whatever industry that you're in, and especially in mine, I think it's important to know what questions to ask.
Okay.
To be knowledgeable in your field and just be an overall professional. Because somebody that's coming to you for a service is not always going to know what they should be asking you.
Right.
That's why they're coming to you. So I think for me, just trying to kind of at least dig to see what are the things that may be the most important to them. If there are any must-haves, just incorporating other smaller things like colors or like, there's so many different things. It could be flowers. It could be characters. It could be, effects, things, whatever, some of the things they like. Just me asking questions and really just having general conversations.
Yeah.
If they're doing a birthday party, if they're doing a celebration for somebody else, I'm like, oh, well, what did you do at your last birthday party? Oh, right. Nothing or something. What did you love about it? What did you hate about it? What did you wish that you could do? So just really having a conversation, talking and asking the right questions, asking open-ended questions so that you get a little bit more detail about it. Also, along the way, I don't just say, okay, I'm hired and I'm not talking to you until your event. I'm also in constant contact to let them know, okay, well, these are some of the things that I have lined up. This is what I have going on. And just to see, because once we start getting into the budget and I'm like, okay, well, we're pretty much at budget. This is what we have. This is what I have. They can always put their input in as well. So any smaller things that may need to be tweaked or whatever that looks like.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sorry to cut you off. I was going to say, like, with you being a people person, I think that you probably could get a personal, not too personal because you don't have much time you're working, but just to kind of get like a little bit of personal rapport with them so you can kind of get a feel for them and just see what type of person they are. I'm pretty sure that helps too, right?
It does. It helps a whole lot. And then also just, the different vendors that I work with, whether it be a chef, whether it be an event rental company, a DJ, a photographer, videographer, anything, an installer. I have people that, vendors that if I need them to literally make something, they can go from a piece of wood and make it. It's just having the connections, but then also working with people that you like, and like you said, with a new client, just trying to build some type of rapport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why I said, kind of asking those questions about, oh, it's for a birthday. Well, what did you do this? Or it's for your girlfriend or your husband or whatever it is. Just kind of talking about some of those things so that you can get a little bit, I don't want to say personal, but personable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there is some type of relation there so that it doesn't seem like a strict business transaction, because then it's going to be all business talk and nothing really personable in it. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure with doing that, you can kind of create a wow factor, because if you can read them and you do something a little extra that they didn't ask you to, but it's geared to them and their interests, I'm pretty sure they come in like, wow, you really did this. Like, wow, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm pretty sure that just drives business too, because then they're going to talk about it to their friends. And that goes into my next question. For somebody that's watching who would like to start doing what you do, but don't have anything to show whatsoever, how could they build a clientele? How can they get people to put that trust in them that they would get it right and to hire them?
That's a really good question. My advice would be to first start announcing to everybody that this is what you're doing. That's something that I had to learn myself. It was something that like I mentioned before COVID, I wasn't really posting it so much. I wasn't posting a lot of my work, and I thought it was so crazy. It kind of took me back when I started posting this stuff. And then when I would post the before and afters, it really gave people and gave people an opportunity to see like what really went into it, or to see the vision, or to see the before and the after, like where it started and where it came from. The then and now challenge, right? How it started, how it's going, type of thing. Right. You know, seem to like that. But for somebody that's just starting off, I think that's definitely a step one, is to let everybody know that that's what you do, because you want them to think about you when that type of service comes up, because that is what you do. Secondly, if you don't have any photos of yourself, I mean, not of yourself, but any photos of your work, because you haven't really started the work yet, I would say two things. Come up with some type of promo flyer. And even if you haven't done a whole event, maybe you could just go and buy some balloons or something, like get a bunch of balloons or whatever. I got a couple right here.
Stage some rooms and stuff like that, right?
Get some balloons or something, grab somebody to take a photo of you with a bunch of balloons, or some teddy bears, or a big old cake, with some birthday, whatever it is that it might be. It's Christmas time. Go stand in front of a Christmas tree, and then go ahead and put that on some type of flyer, or post a photo with a cool caption that's saying something like, book your next holiday event, or having a birthday club, whatever that looks like, just to kind of get people in the mind frame of it. Even with me, I've learned that just posting some of the events that I've done that are much larger scale, that with a huge budget, I've had to learn to try and also let people know that, hey, I don't just do, $1 billion budgets. Not that I've ever done $1 billion, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't just do the super huge, really crazy events. I do romantic dinner dates for 2 as well, or for 4, or, whatever that looks like. Mm-hmm. And in order to do that, what I did initially, before I ever did one, 2 things actually, I created it myself. I'm an event coordinator. I have things, I have centerpieces, I have this, I have that, and possibly whatever it was, and I made it myself. Yeah. And that also let people know, okay, well, look, I can see this. This is attainable. I see what she's done. So now they might think of me when it's time for that. Also, for people just starting off, I would say, if you have the ability to, if somebody's interested, maybe ask them, hey, I'm just starting off, but I really love what I do. Maybe somebody that somebody that you've built some type of relationship with. I wouldn't necessarily say a stranger, because that might possibly say, make them think like, okay, she doesn't know what she's doing, but somebody that knows you or knows something about you, and maybe your previous work ethic. Maybe this is new to you, but they know you're a hustler. They know you're a go-getter. They know that you're a strong and hard worker. So they're like, okay, yeah, I know she's going to kill this. Offer to go ahead and do it for them at a discounted price, or maybe even for free, but they just have to pay for everything else, whatever the decor is. And then that way you make sure that you have your photos set up, your videos set up, so that you can go ahead and promote the heck out of that. Mm-hmm. And it's your turn to go ahead and let everybody know about it. But there are so many different ways to get started without even having done anything for real. You just kind of have to be creative, because this is a creative type space. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is, you go to school, to college, get your doctorate, and now you're a doctor. Yeah. Bam, doctor. No, this is something that you kind of have to kind of build yourself up, and you also have the ability to be creative with your marketing. It doesn't have to be the same by the book, boring thing. Yeah,
you're creative, so you got to create it. You got to create that world for yourself and for the client. And I was also going to say too, it'd be a good idea for someone to just stage their own home. Why not do that? Take pictures and switch it up. Do 3 different looks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Put it up on a website. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly. Invest in yourself. You know, sometimes
Yep.
people want to, for their birthday, they're like, I'm going to go buy a section and get like 3 bottles. I'm going to spend like $1,000, $1,500. You know what? Like you said, and like I told you, that's what I just told you I did the first time that I did the smaller events.
Yeah.
I had to stage that myself.
Yeah.
I used my own stuff to let people know, I do this as well. I do this as well. But then once I started kicking off, I had more photos.
Right.
But I agree. Instead of some of the other stuff, or maybe just take the time to save up just a little bit. You know, you want to ask somebody for help, ask them for help with your business. You know what I mean? Take all of that, buy a couple things, and get your photos. You know, because people want to see results.
Yeah, exactly. Are you registered on any websites like the Knot, like the wedding website? There's a vendor list on there. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I've heard of the Knot. I'm not on the Knot. I am on a couple of other things.
Okay.
But I'm not on the Knot. I'm on a couple of other little website lists.
Okay.
And they've been somewhat helpful to me. But another thing also is when people have little pop-up shop things, or when there are other events going on around town or somewhere else that you might be out of town with, so definitely sign up for those booths if you can. Sign up for those booths.
Yeah.
Get a couple things printed out. Like I said, this is where your photos and your videos come into play. And that helps a lot too, because when you are face to face with somebody at an event or at a, conference or whatever it is, where people are there for a specific reason, they have a similar interest, and that interest has something to do with what your service is. That's another really great way. Seriously. So just kind of be face to face with somebody, let your personality shine, get to know them in the couple seconds that you meet them. And then like we both just said, kind of building that rapport really helps somebody hiring you. So
yeah. Let's talk about you did the event for 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
How did that come about, and how was that experience for you? Like you were saying, you do corporations. I'm pretty sure that's on a smaller scale, but it's still magnified because of who he is. Like, how did that happen for you, and what was the experience like?
Yeah, so that actually was very, very cool experience. Working with his wife, they're really cool, down to earth people. So initially how it started is I have a working relationship with Snoop, and I've known her for many, many years.
Okay.
That's one of 2 Chainz' business partner and
serial entrepreneur, right? In Atlanta, right?
Serial entrepreneur, yes. And so they own quite a few things together, but she also owns tons of her own stuff and has prior to their business relationship. And I even knew her back then. So with that being a separate relationship where business has come out of over the years, and then there was a situation or a conversation I imagine where somebody from his team was discussing it amongst different people I guess a small amount of people. And it was actually in reference to his mother's birthday party that was coming up. Okay. And I imagine wanted to do something for her, and kind of was just like, okay, well, I need you guys to figure this part out. And my friend, Snoop, she went on ahead and said, you know what? Nina does this. Nina's been doing this. As a matter of fact, she also did his grand opening for his nail salon, Pamper.
Oh, wow, okay.
Right. And so that was even before all of this, and definitely a much smaller space, much smaller scale, but it definitely was something that I did. And, so then long story short, she connected me with the lady. We got to talking, and I did his mother's birthday party, and it was great. She was happy. He was happy. Everybody was happy. It really just turned out great, and everybody loved the decor, the whole vibe of everything. It was just a really great energy that whole night, and I was super excited.
It looked great,
especially somebody that is big. It doesn't mean that you want to impress them anymore, or that I would want to take into account anybody else's impressions of anything that I do, because I want everybody that I work with to be just wowed into the floor, but it was definitely really exciting for everything to just be so great and turn out so well. And then right after that, he had me do another party for his best friend within the same week. It was literally about
Wow.
6 or 7 days later.
Okay.
And then after that, I got another call about the next month or two to do his private birthday party. And then, it kind of went from there. And then, of course, with other people I'm meeting here and there, just doing other things along the event scale. But it was definitely awesome. That's how it came about.
Oh, that's
Uh,
dope.
and I think it was great as well because you have different type of clients that everybody runs things differently, and then when you have different type of people, different number of guests, different types of party, different caliber of party. There might be so many other things that are involved with this one that might not be involved with, another birthday party. So it was definitely a great challenge. I learned even more in regards to the diversity of all the different things that I just mentioned.
Yeah.
But it was very fun along the way. So I was excited.
Yeah, man, that's dope. That's dope, and it looked great too. It looked great.
Thank
Keep
you.
posting those pictures. I'm telling you, I look at all of them. I love them. I love it.
You do?
Yeah, all of them.
You
If
don't even comment on my pictures. You don't even
no,
know.
I don't listen. I don't comment, but
I'm
if you
just kidding.
listen, I promise you, if you go back and look at all your pictures, I bet you I liked every last one of them.
I'm just kidding. I know you show me some good.
I be showing love, man. I always show love.
I like your pictures too, though.
I know. I appreciate it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we knew,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see you.
Don't have it thinking I don't return the love either.
No. I see you. Trust me, I see you. You've always showed me love ever since I met you. I met you when at Kiwi's Miss Jessie's party, right?
Right, exactly. At
Boogaloo, yeah. Damn, that was
What year was that?
I don't even know. That was probably like 10 years ago.
13 or 20, I don't know.
That was almost 10 years ago.
It was.
That was almost 10 years ago. Yeah. That's crazy.
Dang, time flew by.
Time flew.
You still looking good, though. Look at you.
I appreciate it. You the same. You still look the same. Hey man, you know how this black skin is.
Don't crack.
Right. Nah, but I've been following you and supporting you for a long time.
Did I?
Finally got to kick it. So no, all right. So we talked about all the good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
What challenges have you had? How do you deal with customers who aren't satisfied and you have to make it right? How do you deal with that?
Well, I will say one thing, okay, that definitely has happened. Mistakes happen.
Yeah.
And it might not even always be my mistake, because when you have a whole production, if you will, you have a lot of moving hands and a lot of parts. Now, some of the mistakes have definitely been mine, and it may have been just a minor oversight. I would say definitely whenever you're signing contracts, just make sure that we're not attorneys. I'm not an attorney, but at the end of the day, whenever you're looking at something, just kind of glance over it a few times and just make sure that everything that you see is correct. It could be something as small as the payment amount, it could be something as small as the deposit, it could be something as small as the date, a location. Definitely pay attention to those. I've definitely made a mistake, not looking at the details before. Also, like I said, the different people that you're working with, it can be a lot of people. If it's a huge event, it might be a lot of people involved.
Yeah.
And you're responsible for everybody, and they're getting paid, and they're knowing everything and giving them all of the information that you have. And if you're coming up with the information yourself, just making sure that everybody knows everything. You might have the caterer. You might actually have some staff that you hire. You might have a bartender. You might have, somebody that you may just hire for that event to help you out. A DJ, a photo booth. You have your event vendors. You have got just everything. There's so many different things that you can have going on at one time. And let's just, your print people, whatever. People can be late, right?
Yep.
So if they're late to something that I'm doing,
blowing everything off,
deadline for something to start, that also becomes a little crazy. So there are so many things that I've just learned in the process, and that even goes down to just telling people that if I say the event starts at one time, or I know it starts at one time, I might just lie a little bit and say that it starts way before that time. And I still have people show up late, even after telling them it starts earlier.
Wow.
But at least, and that's just because people are people, right?
Yep.
Like, people have different personalities. People have different traits, characteristics.
Yep.
Some people are just out, even in their business, I guess, or this is Atlanta. Shoot, it takes you about an hour to get from Atlanta to Atlanta. And it might be about 10 miles or 5 miles. But it's just like, I'm literally in the city of Atlanta. When I put it in my GPS, city is Atlanta. When I end in my GPS, city is Atlanta. And it might take forever. Whatever the reason is, it's not even my reason. But I still have to.
You're responsible for it.
I'm responsible for it because I just am. And also, just to remain calm as possible. I've been commended on my calmness in these really crazy situations. And, I've had people like, wow, I know that this is the job. You are just so calm after everything that's going on right now. And I just, in my mind, I'm like going crazy.
Right.
But, it honestly just kind of comes naturally at this point to just, not even panic. Necessarily. Yeah, it's more, not even blow it off. It's just like a not even panic. It's just like my mind is constantly going right now to what's next.
Yeah.
How can we fix it?
If you panic, it will just all come crashing down. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine if I buckle, the show's not going on because nobody's gonna know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
So it's like, I will say things are going to definitely happen. Okay, it's not going to be all peaches and cream. Even if your mindset is always positive and don't think about the negative, bad things might still happen. But you just have to find a way to, to cope with it and to move on. And I think that, again, your work ethic, your personality, who you are, people are going to know that you're not trying to sabotage them. People are going to know that. Sometimes things happen, but it can't be something that you have just completely dropped the ball on. You know what I mean? You have to pick it back. You have to know how to keep going, and you have to, keep your calm. And as you have your mistakes, you have to learn from them and find a new way and a new practice so that mistake doesn't happen again. I have some clients that are amazingly repeat clients. So if I've made a mistake with that client before, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, try to give this happened, whatever, blah, 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 blah. They might be cool with that the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, what if they're repeat client and I'm doing it the second time and the third time? They're realizing it wasn't really that mistake. I'm effing up somewhere, basically.
Yeah. And
you don't want that to be your reputation. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be some crazy things. And like I said, there's going to be some stuff that's out of your control. But you just have to know how to control yourself.
Yeah, and control the system. It's a system you're running, and you gotta know how to, like you said, you gotta know how to finagle it. If it starts at 5, you tell them it starts at 3:30, whatever. It's just, I know, like when you dive into the work, you figure out how to maneuver it, how to move this here to make it all work.
Right.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
And then at the end of the day, like you said, remaining calm and owning up to your faults too, because that's how you can get people to just still have that trust in you. If you own it, hey, I messed up, or this messed up, or whatever, and you own it, and then you fix it, then they could still have that, you know what I'm saying, that faith in you, that trust in you. Like, all right, she's about her stuff. She's solid. She dropped the ball, but she picked it back up, and we still had a good event.
Right. And I would say one more thing, because when you said something that made me think about something else, is if you are doing stuff and something does go wrong or something goes, awry, whatever, do not call the client necessarily and tell them that, because they probably don't care. Either you're going to freak them out. Right. Unless you have to, don't. Yeah. I think it's, a lot more effective to just keep it moving. Just figure it out, whatever you can figure out at that moment, and just really keep it pushing. If for whatever reason they know about it before you tell them, whatever. There's so many different scenarios and situations that could happen. Okay, yeah, sure. Explain that to them. But it's a lot better to go ahead and have handled the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the aftermath, you're saying, so yeah, sorry this happened, but I did go ahead and fix it.
Yeah.
Or this didn't actually happen, but I went on ahead and, did this instead. Or whatever it is where you saved the day and you made it happen and you did your job, which is what they paid you to do. And you became that professional. That's going to look so much better than you panicking and making them panic. You're like,
it's all about the experience for them, and you want that experience to go smooth. And then if they find out, the shit that happened at the end of the night, well, that's the end of the night. It's already over with. They had a good time, and they're like, "Girl, don't even worry about it."
Right? Yeah, that happened, but you know what? I did this. I made that work. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool, man. How's Kiwi? When's the last time you spoke with her?
I spoke to her. It's been kind of a while, but not that long ago. But she's still doing good. We actually were both on. This is probably like maybe 2 months ago. We were both on this influencer, kind of Zoom party.
Okay.
Kind of bought us food and had it shipped to our house and everything like that. It was for a show on ABC.
Oh, wow.
So that was cool. And then we talked a little bit after that and just saying how we need to catch up and how we need to hang out. You know how it is as an adult.
Yeah.
You have all your
when you're adulting.
You gotta make it happen.
Yeah. I hadn't spoken to her in a while, and then I had her on the show, but that was like episodes ago, man. That was probably like episode 20 something. I don't know, but yeah, it's been
episode was 20 something. This is episode 60. Yeah. You moving out here. Okay.
Hey, I listen, in 2020, I didn't miss a week. I did not miss a week, and I don't plan to. I just make it happen, make it work. People cancel me last minute. I figure it out, make it work. Yeah. I haven't had to yet, but even if I got to get on here and just talk the whole time myself, the show's going on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm serious about this because, I'm doing this and I set my show up. If you watch it, I set it up like a late night talk show. So, and that's what I want. I want a TV show, and that's what I'm going to get. You know what I'm saying? So I figure I got to present it like that. Mm-hmm. Just work it, man, and get my content.
Creating your own content.
That's it.
Because you're a creator. Okay.
That's it. Create my own content. Create my own world. I ain't waiting on nobody. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I said in your background. I'm looking at it on my other screen. I'm like, it looks great too. I love it.
Thank you.
Card in the bookshelf, and you got the titles and the names and everything. Fancy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I need you to help me with my content.
You need some help? Holla at me.
Ooh. I want to know how to get a little fancy background and, a mug with my name and face on it, stuff like that.
Listen, people that support me, I'll help them. There's people that reach out that want things and they don't really support. I don't even answer, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you always been solid. So whatever you need help with, just holler at me. And trust and believe, when I tell you how to do it, you're going to be like, for real, is that simple? And people, it may look like, we'll talk.
I'm like, it looks super fancy. But is this being recorded? Because I want you guys to make sure that you heard him say that too, right? He's going to help me. Because I just want to make sure everybody
I got you, man. Just don't abuse me. Don't abuse me. Just don't abuse me. I'm a busy man, but I got you.
Me, an abuser? That doesn't even sound right.
Whatever you need to know. If you want to get whatever. Now, so this is the thing. I'm not a graphic designer, so don't think that. I'm not a graphic designer.
Okay.
I just do.
Me either.
I just do what I need done for me. You understand? So
right.
I don't render my services to anybody. Like, I'm not out there selling my services because I don't have the time, and I don't have the time for the back and forth. Like, oh, can you tweak this? Can you do? No.
Right.
No, I can't.
Okay. No, this is what you asked for. You should be able to say, "Big, it's yours."
Right. But yeah, just any questions you got or any help you need, just holler at me. We can figure it out, figure how to help you out.
Okay.
All right. For real.
I'm very serious. I will be definitely hitting you up right after. Like, okay, so about this, taking my notes, got my notepad with me everywhere.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, this is the thing though. Like I said, I'll show you how to do it so you can know how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, I don't render my services. If I can help you with like a little bit or whatever, I'll do that. Right. But I'll show you how to do it. Because
that's how I learn best.
Huh?
I don't need anybody. That's how I learn best. Because I am one of those people that's going to need it tweaked, twatted, all kinds of whatever the words are. I'm going to need it done, be done. So all I need to know is how to do it, and I'll spend hours doing it. You know, it's funny, we haven't started talking about the real estate as much yet, but I guess the real estate and the events, I tweak a lot of my own promo posts, my little promo flyers and stuff. Even the one that you had playing in the video at the end, you know, accepting new clients, plenty of mine. I do it myself. I find some of the apps that I know work and they have the best features. You know, there are some apps, man. I tell you, you find something, you put together a little flyer, you can add your photo on it, and it literally removes the background in your photo for you. So when you post it on the flyer, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I do post mine myself as well, just to go ahead and get it the way that I want, so that it has the information that I want on there, whatever that looks like. And then, because I'm posting every day, as you see.
The key to it is just not waiting on anybody. That's just it. You can't. Exactly. You can't wait on nobody. Do it yourself. You know, and as you go, you grow. You'll get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So whatever I can help you with to grow, like I said, holler at me. It's simple stuff. It really is simple stuff. I'll show you.
Okay, and same, I don't know what you would need from me, but if there is, you know, I got you as well. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah, but it's really simple stuff, man. It really is. It's like, if you don't know, then you're like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying? But if somebody just gives you the game, then you know. But and see, and listen to this. And we're gonna talk about your real estate. I haven't forgotten about your real estate. Who would I be having a show talking about I'm trying to provide value to the viewer, and then I withhold information?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You would be a hypocrite.
However, I'm not a hypocrite to those who don't support me, and then and see what I do, and then want to utilize. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it don't work like that. So.
Well, that goes back to the beginning of our conversation about, you know, when you're meeting people and really just like building genuine conversations. Well, conversations come with the relationship, but just building genuine relationships with people without any like real intentions. You know?
Yeah, man.
I want to be around somebody and get to know somebody because maybe they are in the same field as you, or maybe they're in a different field, but you see how successful they are, and maybe you admire that, or you admire their hustle, their work ethic, but not because you see something that you want from somebody, because you know what? Most people are going to be able to notice that off bat.
Right away.
You're just insane with me. And that happens with me as well. You wouldn't believe how many messages or DMs or whatever I get from people just like, hey girl, I love what you did with this. Can you please tell me who did your blog? Who did this? Who did this? Okay, and I'm just like, I'm basically giving you everything why don't you hire me?
Exactly. Like, you do realize I get paid to do this stuff, right? I get paid.
Right, yeah. I've built up stuff, so it's just like, at the end of the day, you know, you gotta have like a genuine connection, and it doesn't, even with us, we've known each other for years. We don't talk every day. We don't, you know, hang out like that, all this stuff like that, but we really do have a genuine connection. And over the years, we've never lost touch. We've always been in touch, and I was supposed to be on the show, you know, a couple times, and you know, now here we finally are, but it really is about a genuine connection, I believe. And everybody else will tell you that too, you know.
And if you could just be a good person, the genuine stuff, it comes without saying, you know what I mean? Just be a good person. Have good intentions. Stop wanting to use people, you know? At the end of the day, people need to understand this. It's the approach, right? We all want something. We all want to get somewhere. We all want to be somebody, whatever, right? But don't use people. If you just establish a good relationship and just be a good person, people who like people help them. People help the people they like. So if you're likable, just a good person, just be that good person, and it's gonna come around. It's gonna come around. I've been in situations plenty of times where there's, whoever it may be, they're in a situation where they can put me on or help me out or whatever, and I'm just being human, a good friend, good person, and like-minded, and we're talking about just life and not the business. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when people got an angle, because it's always questions about the business, who you know, what, you know what I'm saying? If you just be likable and y'all talk about regular stuff, everyday stuff, eventually it's gonna come around like, yo, what do you do? What are you trying to do? How can I help you? Because I like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we built up a friendship. Like, I like you. How can I help you? It will come out. You know what I'm saying? But you can't approach it like that.
Yeah.
Like, really want to get to know people. Go ahead.
Yeah, the energy just matches with different people. And like, I think it's also important for people to realize, that hell, everybody that you think that you want to work with may not be the person that you need to work with. You being naturally you, and you just being you, like you just said, you're naturally going to just mesh with people.
Yeah.
And those are the people those are the people right there. Those are your people. You know what I mean? The people that you're not naturally meshing with, you're just not meshing with them. That's not for you. I guarantee that those people over there, they have people that they mesh with as well.
Yep.
And that's just how life is. Everybody's not connected like that. I mean, we're all connected as humans, but everybody's not connected in the same little running in the same circle. So it's just like, it sounds so stupid and cliche and all these other things, but honestly, when you think about it, and for those people that are like looking at everything, they'll realize that, yeah, you're right. Those certain people have helped me in certain ways. And that's because I have known them for, 1 month or for 10 years, whatever that looks like. But it's always been a genuine thing, nothing fake. Because I feel like I can kind of tell when people are being fake with me or having and it's an immediate turn on.
Hell yeah.
Honestly.
You know immediately, because it's the energy. Away. It's the energy. You know it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
Yep.
You know it right away. And you said something about, like, this is the thing. People will chase the people that don't want to have anything to do with them and ignore the people that's like, hey, man, come this way. I got you. You know what I'm saying? They want to go chase behind them. And like you said, they have the people that mesh with them. And this is crazy because I was, I don't know if I follow him or I don't know where I saw this at, but Ray Daniels. Are you familiar with who Ray Daniels is?
I don't know.
Ray Daniels, Radar Entertainment. He manages Rock City. He's an A&R at, like, I forget who's an A&R with, like Universal, somebody. Anyway, he said the problem is with people is that they want to basically hang out with the people they have nothing in common with, or the people they didn't come up with. Like he's like, listen, we're at a place in our career, and we're all hanging together because we all came up together. We were all in the grind, all in the trenches, and now we got to this level, and we still keep it like that. But the people, I don't want to say the people down here, but the people that are basically trying to obtain what you're trying to do, they always want to run to them and don't have any value to add to them. They just want instead of trying to come up with the people that's in the trenches with them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's real. It's like, I'm going to leave y'all behind. Let me go run up here to Ray and them and whoever else and try to get in and try to get on. And then discouraged. And then they get hateful because then people are like, I don't know you. You don't have anything to offer. You're thirsty.
Exactly.
Shoot. You know what I'm saying? Get away. And now it's hate, resentment. I want to do this to you. No. Go down. I keep saying go down, but I'm just saying, like, go back to the people who you're coming up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, come up with the people that you're grinding with.
That's great, but because they're not, I guess, what you consider popular, because they're not famous or because they're not rich yet, you're overlooking them like crazy. But 10 people that do the same thing and do it well, but that's called more like clout chasing, right?
Yep.
That's not clout chasing. And more groupie-ish, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with wanting to meet people that you admire by any means, but you're running yourself ragged and offering up all this free stuff all the time for people who don't give two craps
They don't
about you. It
care.
is not going to shut you or whatever that looks like. You gotta always, fuck with your people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
They're not gonna let you in a circle until you create your own circle and they see that value, they see the camaraderie, they see what you're doing, that movement. Now it's like, okay, I see what y'all are doing. Let's get some money together. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about your real estate. What made you want to get into real estate? Now listen, I'll say this before you answer that. I'm a realtor. I don't show homes. Like, I do deals for myself. And now I'm going to start getting into like flipping and stuff like that. But I got into it because I'm like, man, it's like the ultimate life changer for people. Like, you're a part of that process. It's helping people. You're changing lives. Like, what is your take on that? Why did you get into that?
Well, I think maybe like a lot of us, especially a lot of us in Atlanta, we probably know quite a few real estate agents. And for me, there's so many different aspects to it. One of it was definitely the opportunity for myself to begin to build wealth in another way. Because if you are, you have your own goals. Some people say, I just want to make X amount of money additional per year. And some people are like, you know what, I want this to be my full-time career. I really want to push it in and I want to make some real money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was able to see people really change and transform their lives through real estate.
Yep.
And not to say that it was easy, like they just bust out the gate after taking their exam and passed and just had all these clients. No, there's a lot of groundwork to that. However, if you are willing, just like anything else, and once you see the potential that you have and there really is real money associated with that, I think that's motivation one. Two, is definitely being a part of people's, life-changing moments.
Yeah.
Just dealing with events, and me prior being a school teacher, a public school teacher, I didn't just deal with the kids. I had a whole, faculty team that I dealt with. I had parents that I dealt with all the time, which therefore put me all into the community. So it's just everything that I did before up until now, and the things that I love to do, which is dealing with people, helping people in some type of way, being an educator of whatever information that I know. All of that still ties into real estate. So as I kept looking at that, I was just like, wow, this sounds like something that I really want to do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. I just kind of signed up for my schooling, my real estate school, and it just went from there. I went through that, passed that, went on to the state, passed that the first time. I was just so excited. Everybody was scaring me, talking about how hard it was, and people take it multiple times. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to do all that. But those are pretty much the main reasons why I wanted to do it. And, just really meeting people. And I'm such a people person.
Yeah.
That is really the bulk of all the careers that I've had. Literally, like the three that I just mentioned to you, that's the bulk of it, is meeting people and being involved with people, interacting with people, building relationships. Yeah. And every single thing that I just said that I did now and in the past, it's all the same thing. And so those are things that I realized that I love to do, and that makes me happy. And then that's still like owning your own business. So you have the creativity to work in so many different aspects of real estate. I mean, you could do commercial. Yeah. You could, business and businesses.
Wholesale. Everything.
Wholesale. You could do new construction, where you're working with builders, the people that are actually building these neighborhoods, and you're working with them. Or you could just do residential, where it's homes. You could do lease purchase. I mean, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, the lease
purchase. Where you're working with people who have a home and they want to put it on the market. Or you can work with buyers, which are people that are saying, hey, I want to look for a home, and you're helping them find it. All of them are so different. They're all so different. And you have all of these, abilities to do what you want because it's your business. Yeah. You can, the clientele that you want, so many things, so many different things. So that was like my main motivation. And then also just like anything, that you like to do, once you see that you can make money doing it, that's also super motivation for sure. So,
I mean, anything, even down to just the referrals. You know, you getting 25% off a referral and you ain't do nothing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
First time I got a referral check, I was just like, man, this is over $1,000 and I did nothing.
Yes, right.
Nothing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's a hustle. So tell everybody how they go ahead.
Come from? Relationships.
Say that again.
I said, and where does that come from? Relationships.
Relationships. Yep.
Relationships that you have with whoever.
Yep.
Whoever that was that you referred that to, and they took. You know, it's just people. That's the theme for this whole podcast today. Your relationships.
Yeah.
Being intentional in your relationships and being genuine in your relationships.
Being genuine, yeah. Being genuine. Mm-hmm. That's what it is, man. Just being human with people. Huh?
Don't forget that. I said, and intentional. Don't forget that.
Right. Intentional, definitely.
Yeah. Because you might be cool with a lot of the wrong MFs, right? You want to keep your circle a good circle.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
Pay attention to who's in it. So.
Trust your gut, man. That energy does not lie.
No, it doesn't.
Energy.
Oh, they can't see me. I'm touching my gut. So. Yes, I feel it. Touch it. Feel it.
Yes, indeed. Tell everybody how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in buying a home or selling a home.
So, I don't know if you guys have your pen and paper out, but I will give my phone number for business. It's a separate phone number than my cell, but it's 678.
On the holler and all that is for business.
It's a separate phone number, but 678-900-9067. Also, please follow me on Instagram. From my Instagram, I have a link tree that really just kind of lists everything for you to just click on. You can schedule your free consultation with me. I do free 30-minute consultations, whether it's with real estate or my events. You can go right on there, schedule it, and then I'll go ahead and approve it. You can also go look at my websites for different things, my real estate website. If you're looking for a home and you want to maybe skim through some stuff before you talk to me, hey, you can just go click on my website, look at some homes, feel free. And when you're ready, we can talk about it. You know, I have all the resources and all the people to get you right and get you ready. Make sure we're pre-approved and everything. So everything's on my Instagram, which is Miss Nina Lauren, which is MISS, and Nina Lauren, Miss Nina Lauren. So, and yes, that's my real name.
There it is. And what's the other one? You got Nina. What's the other? I got them all in the description. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got all the. I got all the Instagram links.
It's down below. Yeah, Miss Nina Lauren. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And I don't know if I put the other ones, but I'm gonna put the other ones down there in the description too. And it's right there on your lower third. Do you see it? You see the name, Nina? It's right there. You see it?
Miss Nina Lauren.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Below.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Yeah, I thought you. See, you're on the page. I didn't know if you were looking at the description or if you're looking at that. But I'm gonna have all the links in the description. So after the show, if you guys want to get in contact with, all you gotta do is go into the description, click the links.
Yep. And then I'm telling you guys, the Instagram page. I love Instagram, by the way. It's so simple. It's not like Facebook where you have this whole profile and about me. You know, my favorite quotes. And don't get me wrong, I love posts and whatnot. But Instagram, if you want to use it for business, which is pretty much what I use it for. I mean, I do post some photos of me, but a lot of it still relates to business. It might be a photo of me at an event or of me at a home, but still me. But nonetheless, they do have the opportunity for you to go to somebody's profile and you can click contact and it links you to a phone number. It links you to an email address, which is also on my profile. So if you just tap the contact button on my profile, you'll be able to email me and you'll be able to call me. For my other links, all you have to do is just click the link in my bio, like everybody says, click the link in my bio. And it does give you the opportunity to kind of specify what it is that you're not willing, but wanting to do. And you just click on that right there. All of the stuff is there. So Miss Nina Lauren, guys, thanks for having me, KoolKard. And make sure you guys follow me. Make sure you guys think of me when you're ready to buy a home, lease a home, sell a home, and most importantly, you're ready for your next special event, because I promise you, I'm gonna blow it out the water.
Yeah,
Trust.
go to her Instagram and look at the pictures. That's all you got to do. You'll know what you're getting. Yeah, for real. And if I get any referrals, I'll send them your way because I don't want them.
And if I get any referrals, then you get your referral fee.
I get
That's
my
for all
fee.
you guys too. All y'all watching. Hey, if you might not have an event that you need right now, but you refer somebody to me and they tell me, I'll definitely cut you a piece of that for sure.
There it is.
Thanks.
There it is. But listen, I really appreciate you coming on. Look, we spent an hour. I told you 30, but I told you if the conversation is good, we just gonna keep it going. So you already know what it was. It's all love. Yeah, so thank you.
Thanks for having me.
No
I
doubt.
appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah, I told you, girl, we're just gonna be
You're a
kicking
great
it.
host.
Huh?
You're a great host.
I appreciate that. I told you we was gonna be kicking it. Be comfortable, kicking it. That's how we do it.
I know. Yeah, I was texting him before, and we talked. We called and talked and texted before this, and I was just like, so, what kind of questions are we asking? What are we going to be talking about? Like, what is that exactly going to be going? How long is it? He was just like, look, I promise you, it's literally going to be like we are just kicking it. I'm just going to ask you some questions. We're going to just be having really a conversation, and that's what it was. So,
Yep.
This was definitely cool. I enjoyed myself.
For sure. I appreciate that. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you spending the time. Appreciate you supporting too over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I see you supporting. So I appreciate that. That's genuine. That's love. Can't say that for everybody. So when I see it, I gotta acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be supporting you. You already know. I'll start commenting too.
Yeah, he be lying. He don't be commenting on my stuff.
I like it all.
Go to my page. Just start scrolling and see if you see his name on the comment.
If you go into the likes, you'll see my name. I like it all. I'm telling you, listen, you gotta understand, man. When I support. So even if I'm not commenting, I'm gonna like the hell out of it. Like it. But what I'm gonna do for you, when you post your events, I'm gonna start tag, because I do this random. I don't do it all the time, but I'll start tagging like 3 people. You know what I'm saying? It helps.
Yeah.
I'll tag other celebrities. So, you can get that clientele rolling too. I mean, you don't need any help, but it's just the gesture that I'll do. Like, I'll tag people, just go even further than just liking.
I appreciate the support as well.
For sure. I got you. Well, yeah, man, I appreciate you. I know you said you're going out too, so I can just wrap this up so you can get on out, do your little shang dig.
Well, I didn't think I was going out. I said I was doing something else after.
Okay.
Next one clubbing.
Oh, okay.
Just I said it was a birthday celebration.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. I won't hold you any longer. Not too much longer. I won't hold you any longer. So I do appreciate you. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate anybody tuning in. If you're watching on the replay, appreciate the love as well. Make sure you check out Nina. That's Miss Nina Lauren, MISS Nina Lauren at Instagram. And all of her other links are on her page as well. And they are in the description. So you make sure you check her out, support her. Holla at her.
Yay.
Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to the show. If you got some value out of that and out of this, please share the show. Tell a friend. I'll be back again next Tuesday, every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come kick it with your boy. You never know who I might have. We out of here. Good night.
Peace.
Peace.